and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Preble Town Board meeting on March 14th, 2022. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions from the February minutes? Need a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved for February 2022. Jen?
Committee reports, we've had no report from dog control. Justice report was $7,885 last month.
Thanks, Jen. Highway report, Jeff?
Got a copy of that in front of you. I went through some records today. We're actually about on track where we normally are this time of year as far as our salt sand usage. I met with CMO and FEMA virtually, of course, on a couple times this month so far. Going to meet with them again Thursday at 2. And I keep pushing it over, but its progress is slow but moving, which is typical FEMA, CMO stuff. I think their big thing is to just keep having more meetings. It's what it feels like to me. So, road oil at this time, as of March, it's up about 32 cents a gallon for the medium set, and through that's just going to go higher. But the blacktop for like a binder is up about $7 a ton. So,
What was that price last year?
I'm sorry.
What was the price on the binder last year?
It's like 54 a ton, so we're up over $60 a ton now. The oil was an extension of a previous bid. The other was rebid this year, and it's worth noting, I think, that having a major oil supplier in the county has helped. If you look at the other oil prices from, like, I'll just say other manufacturers, it's significantly higher, and you don't have to drive very far to see, what happens when you have a major oil company in town for that type of work. The other thing, I talked to Don, I talked to Gina, I talked to Jim, I talked to Jim Harris. I sent out some other information. Equipment-wise, last month we passed a resolution to allow pulling some money out of capital accounts. This time, what it did, I wasn't real hip on getting the make, model, and everything down. I wanted to go line by line through the specs and make sure that we covered everything. And that I've done. I sent that out to everybody. I'd like to propose that you pass a resolution to get the Volvo EWR 130E wheeled excavator. And it's using money from the machinery reserve, and also some of the capital project fund money. And pending, I think there might be a little time left on the permissive referendum. Don, I don't any thoughts on that, but
Yeah, I don't think the 30 days have expired yet.
but pending that, we could
But we
Make that
haven't had any
resolution.
contact from anybody, right? Nobody responded to it.
Right.
see, as of literally tomorrow, price of that same machine goes up $11,000, and gosh only knows where it's going to go from there. And I was talking, I think, Jim Harris earlier, and supply is money's one thing, but getting stuff right now is getting me nuts. So, and I'll throw that out there for the board. The only other thing I'll throw out is town cleanup will be April 29th. It's a Friday, and Saturday, April 30th, 7:30 to 3:30 both days. I reserved the dumpsters last week, so we're good to go there. So, okay. Any questions?
We'll put those dates on the website.
Yep.
And
I've got the normal sheet that I put out. That's around town
Okay.
already.
And somebody may want to post it on Facebook too, as we get
I'll
closer
have
to it.
I'll have Kevin throw it on there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff? Okay. We talked about the excavator last month, and does anybody have any more questions on this excavator purchase? Okay, so we need a resolution to purchase a Volvo EWR 138 excavator. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll
Jim
make the
Harris,
motion
okay. Anybody want to
to
second it?
see it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. So,
Okay, and last month we authorized $120,000 from machinery reserve, right,
Right.
for that. And then the other 70,000, what account is that?
that's the Community Development Fund
Okay,
savings.
Gina told me it's a capital project. Where the money goes from the community savings after she rolls it over every year.
So if that can be transferred from the community development funds over, right? Do that.
which is the capital project fund. That's what-
Well, what is this? This is, oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So we treating there's a capital projects fund for hall renovations.
She said that was just what she put it under. That could be used for machinery or whatever you want.
So that's the other reserve fund then.
Correct.
Okay, all right, well, okay, so that would be subject to permissive referendum too, right? So we, just as part of the motion or another motion, we need to approve withdrawing from the capital project fund, the savings of 145, you're looking at totaling 70 grand, right? So that's a reserve fund, so we just need to approve that subject to permissive referendum. That's what we did last month out of the highway equipment reserve, right? Jeff, we
Yes.
authorized that 120 there. And again, because it's a capital reserve account, you do it subject to publishing once in the newspaper, putting the populace on notice that they could file a petition if they were objected to it. That's this permissive referendum idea. So you just, there's a legal notice put in the paper one time. That starts the 30-day time period that people could file that petition. Once the 30 days go, then you're done.
Now, what if somebody did challenge that?
Well, they'd have to remember, they'd have to file a petition with a requisite number of signatures, which is tied in with how many people voted at the last gubernatorial race or something like that.
Right.
And if they file a petition saying we object, we want to put to a mandatory referendum, then you'd have to have a special election
Okay.
like we had for the highway director.
Otherwise, do you do anything at the end of the 30 days?
30
It's
days
just
expires.
in effect.
That's done.
Okay.
That time period that someone could file a petition is over.
Mhm.
So do we have to file a second one? Is that what you're saying?
No, just anytime you spend money from a capital reserve account, you do it subject to this permissive referendum requirement. You publish once, that starts the 30-day time period. Once the 30 days are up, there's nothing more you need to do. It's just the expiration of that time period that someone could file a petition
Okay.
objecting.
So we need a motion to move $120,000 as the capital projects fund for the excavator. Anybody want to make that motion?
From machine reserve fund, you said?
from the capital projects.
Yeah, because I think
Okay.
last month, we approved spending 120 from the
Right,
equipment reserve.
Right, it was a
Yeah, we
different
said
fund,
120,000 from the equipment reserve fund and up to 70,000 from the
Yeah.
community development fund.
Yeah.
That's how it was stated last
Oh,
month.
okay.
So we did do that.
Well,
That's-
okay. The community development fund is one line item here. Now we're talking about the capital projects fund,
Mhm.
okay? So,
But were both of those items covered in one resolution from last month?
well, I guess my point, Jim, is that last month it made reference to community development fund. Now this has to do with the capital project fund.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that's where it's coming from. I don't mean to
Correct.
speak for
Correct.
Jeff, and I don't mean to
Gina's
speak
given me,
for a bookkeeper.
I'd gotten, incorrect information last month, and we corrected that, and I think we're okay now. It's just,
Okay, so we're gonna do another permissive referendum?
Just with respect to the 70,000 coming out of the capital projects.
Okay.
So is this gonna delay everything
Oh, you
30
do.
days for? Gonna cost us $11,000 to do this,
It's up to you. You put the order in, you put the order in.
right?
no, we're set there, Mike.
Okay.
I-
Okay.
I put your name on it, so I think we're okay.
Sure, the signature you were practicing.
So how do you want that worded then?
A motion approving the withdrawal of up to $70,000 from the capital projects reserve account to be used towards the purchase of the Volvo excavator that the board just approved the purchase of,
Can somebody just say so
Move
moved?
so moved.
Okay.
subject to permissive referendum.
And we need a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Jim Harris on the second. Okay, good. So Jeff, you're ready to sign that purchase order now, right?
Well, the machine's on hold,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just to get things held. So once we get the permissive referendum and fly with that, I think we'll be okay. Right?
Okay.
Are we right, Don?
Yeah, it's just, we just have to give it 30 days once it's
Right.
published.
Right.
And you're totally out of the woods.
Okay.
So you need a vote though, Jim.
We need to make a vote. Oh, all in favor?
All right.
Carried.
Okay. You can check with your,
Thanks for reminding me, Bill.
it's Gene.
No, it shouldn't be correcting if you do that, not on the capital reserve fund.
Jeff, anything else you want to go over?
No, we're
Okay,
good for now.
okay. Great. Recreation.
No report received.
What's that?
I didn't receive any information about recreation.
No, Hank is here.
Yeah.
You want to stand up and say something, Hank?
Yeah,
About your willingness to continue with
you
mowing?
got a hot dog?
You want to continue mowing for this summer?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hank will be working on the park again
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And probably start sometime in April, whenever the grass starts growing. And so we'll have to, whenever you see that you have work to do, like turning the water on and starting to mow, then we'll contact Gina.
Yeah.
And let her know what the first day is
Right.
of your work.
Yeah.
And we'll start from there.
Yeah.
Okay,
How do you ever make out with the stuff that walked off down there?
which stuff?
All the stuff that Hank said was in that building, paper towels and toilet paper, all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
I tried contacting the last youth director that we had, and I got no response, no callback. She made herself scarce. I'd have to go knock on her door and track her down, and I wasn't, I didn't know how to do that. So, you know, apparently.
How about writing a letter to her?
Write a letter to her?
Get a response that way.
Not necessarily.
I
Not
mean,
necessarily.
she
But
knows what
she
you're looking
ignores
for.
me. She ignores me. So, but thanks for asking. I did follow up on that.
Another quick thing I'll bring up is that the doors that we ordered last fall, they came in for the rec room, restrooms down there, Hank. They're in the shop, so once the weather breaks, they'll get those.
Yeah.
And those doors are painted too. If anybody wants to go
Yeah,
down and
stop-
take a look at the doors that are newly painted.
yeah, stop down, anybody, anytime.
Yeah, Jeff
Dan
worked out.
Dan was there just the other day, for the
Yeah.
first time ever.
I just want to
know about that, but.
congratulate Jeff for being economical in his thinking and planning with the work that he does. He really knows how to go to the right sources to get certain things done, even if you have to wait a little bit to get it done, but the savings are significant, and Jeff's doing a great job. Thank you, Jeff.
Try.
Okay, county legislature, Kevin is not here. Jen?
Rick for his zoning and code enforcement for February. 2 building permits issued, 64 miles traveled, 6 building inspections, 38 hours worked, 1 fire inspection, 4 complaint follow-ups, and 17 telephone inquiries. The next planning board meeting is March 23rd. The next ZBA meeting is April 7th. We had no report from the town historian. The town clerk fees collected $161, dispersed $143 to the town of Preble and $18 to New York State Ag and Markets.
Thanks, Ken. We have no unfinished business and no new business as of right now, this month.
Under new business, I got something.
You do have something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I emailed Jen I got some information from National Grid,
Mhm.
and Preble still, or doesn't have LED lights. And there's a program with them, and there's savings involved in switching to LED lights. So I found out the contact from them, and he sent me all this significant information.
Mhm.
So I just got it, so I hadn't gone through it,
Mhm.
but I emailed it to Jen to give to everybody.
Okay.
I didn't get it yet.
You haven't got it yet? Huh?
No.
Homer's not that far
It
away.
didn't come.
Probably sent it to somebody
Supposed
else.
to be fast, right?
It's
The
supposed
computers are supposed to make our life easier.
to. Yeah.
As soon as I get it, I can forward it to
If
everyone.
you don't
Okay.
get it, email me.
I will.
All right, so we'll follow up on this next month after
Yeah.
we get a chance to read that.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, so you're just in the information collection phase right now.
Yes, yeah, they went through it, and David Hess is told how many, currently the town has 62 100 watts HPS streetlights. And you'll have this information sent to you too, Jim.
Okay.
And then this wattage can be converted to, they call it a tariff B or tariff C, so
Mhm.
we gotta decipher that. But he says it's roughly a payback period of 6 months.
Mhm.
So you have to come up with, you have to pay for the lights, and then you get reimbursed as a
Yeah, so
rebate.
There is an investment that the town
There
has
is
to
an
make.
investment
Mhm.
upfront.
Right, right.
But they then once your new lights are installed, you start saving money. Plus, it pays off the investment. And, it is very. We had in our shop all redone like that through NYSERDA,
Mhm.
and so yeah, it was real quick payback.
Mhm.
Yeah, it saves every month.
Right.
They have grant money for that or not? Like,
Grant money for us to.
yeah, National Grid give you grant money on that or next year.
This isn't through NYSERDA, this is through National Grid. But, there may be something available there, for coming up with the, the payment. on
Did it give an initial cost?
He didn't say anything. Pardon?
Did it give an initial cost?
No, if there may be in there, but I didn't see it.
And I don't think it's a huge deal, if it's gonna be paid back, no.
Yeah.
You start receiving your returns in 6 months.
Then they gave the list, what you'll be getting in your email of all the lights, and it shows where they're at in Preble and how many. So, all the data's there, quite a bit of data, so, we'll go through it, and if you have questions next month, we can just
Right.
get questions, and there's no time period involved.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Jim, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Oh, Are you,
Jim?
is it just, are you gonna have games this year? On the field?
Ball games at the park?
On the field, yeah.
Nobody has contacted me yet. for that.
Cause I was wondering about the infield.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so,
it needs a lot of work.
The grass grows right up.
Oh, yeah.
You got no way to dig it out or anything.
Well, 2 years ago, because of COVID, these teams didn't have places to play.
Yeah,
So they were very eager to come to our ball field and do all the work and getting the field organized. And then last spring, there were teams that said they wanted to play there, and they ended up having a few practices, but not a whole lot of ball playing was done there last year.
Yep.
And as the season went on, the infield was starting to get weeds in it.
well, a lot of guys told me that to get on that ball field that's down, farther down, you gotta pay big money to get in there. So to use those fields, not in Preble, but I mean
The
farther
Dutchess,
down,
the Dutchess
down
complex.
13.
Yeah, the Dutchess complex.
Yeah,
Youth baseball is becoming a big business.
Yeah.
These communities are building these big complexes that cost a lot of money to build and maintain.
Yeah.
And then these ball teams are being charged a lot of money to play there. Parents are spending $1,000, $1,200 a season for their kid to play on these ball teams.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a business.
right.
So I don't think our field is up to standards for anybody to want to play there right now, unless things get desperate where they feel that they have to play there.
Yeah.
So,
Too bad they can't put some of that plywood back up on the fence,
it gets blown down in the
the
wind.
outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It blows them right off of where they nail it down, it blows them right off.
and then a couple of years prior to that, to COVID, Suco took an interest in our ball field.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of money and effort into revitalizing it.
Yeah.
And then they abandoned it. So right now, we don't have anybody who wants to take ownership of the ball field and play there.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna
But
have to.
Jim knows, I used to go down there with my car and stuff and drag that thing around the field
Yeah,
to make it look good.
right,
That's the infield,
right.
because I like to play ball too, a long time.
So I
But
would
geez, when
say,
you got grass like that,
yeah, I would say, Hank, well, whatever you can do
yeah,
to create a minimal maintenance to that field. So if somebody does want to play there, at least there's some maintenance going on. But as of right
There's a-
now,
there's hundreds of woodchucks down there. Woodchuck at every 2 foot.
Safe zone.
Yeah.
so
You gotta watch yourself.
maybe somebody will step forward and say they want to play there.
Yeah,
As of right now, we don't have anybody.
Pretty soon, I would think.
Yeah.
you know, they have them tillers, I guess, on the back where they just spin the heck out of it,
Yeah.
chew it all up. Then I get around with a drag, just smooth it out. See, when it's lined, it looks beautiful.
Monies received was $1,771.89 from Northeast Transformers, $779 from USPS. At this time, I'd like to open up the meeting for public comment, questions, or comments from anybody who's got anything that they want to say. Okay, so.
Just like to mention that the
Yeah.
senior center, that's going fairly well. We had 10 people show up for our card party in the middle of a snowstorm there Saturday, so people are still wanting to get out. We finally got our checking account situated. We tried to get everything through Bank, and we went up to MBT, and it was a matter of 36 hours. We had everything pretty much taken care of.
3 days.
Well,
That was counting the weekend too.
MBT treats us well. We have all of our accounts there, and their service is excellent. Anytime I go in there with a question or a request, they're more than eager to satisfy the request. So I'm glad that they opened up the account for you.
We do have the town historian going to be a presentation at the seniors the last Wednesday in May. Jay's going to give a presentation of the history problem.
Okay, and met last weekend in May. Dave, could you mention the guest speaker that's coming up this month in March?
I did check the emails, and Jennifer is coming this Wednesday.
Yes.
It's a little arts and craft project. She creates greeting cards, sympathy cards, birthday cards, whatever. She's going to talk to the seniors and see if there's any interest in doing this as a group, showing us where she gets her supplies and doing all that stuff. And then the following 23rd, I have, can't think of her last name. She's with the county, and that's Sarah, and she's coming to just little 5 or 10 minute presentations on the Medicare if you have any questions on that. And then we still have 3 or 4 different people coming from the county at different times. You know, simple things, quick, and a couple of them will be fairly long. So.
So we do have guest speakers coming up.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, we need a motion to pay the general fund vouchers.
Make a motion to pay general fund vouchers abstracts number 3, numbers 42 to number 60, totaling $15,242.41.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Need a motion to pay the highway fund vouchers.
I'll make a motion to pay the highway fund vouchers abstract number 3, numbers 12 to 20, totaling $8,422.69.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. We're adjourned.
Yeah, it was right here. I just signed it there.
Yeah.
Voucher, so.
Jim?